Hello, 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 hello.
Let's have the goggles on, I think.
I'm muted by pushing unmuted. Oh, he's muted here. No, unmuted. I've got to have this. Let me go and look. Yeah, that's more, yeah.
Why different people come to
Everyone, how you doing?
How did you do that? Oh, chat.
Hello.
Get off.
You're going to say that? I can hear you. No, it's fine.
Say hi, Joe. If you can hear me. I'm so happy to see you on here. In Yiddish, like gesund and solidarity.
I was so pleased to be reinstated by Labour. There's a massive campaign to lift up suspension and the NLP is going well.
Fantastic to see you.
Fabulous Labour family.
Oh, see the talks. What have we done? How did
Is
it
it
show?
obviously? I'm just going to Let's show you.
No, stand up to Labour.
On screen.
Just popped in there,
Can you see that? Yeah.
frighten the kids off.
Can you see? Get on so you get a bit more. Oh, I don't. I see you.
She's got the world behind her. That's good.
Look, Liver.
Yay!
Labour heroes. Get your pack of Labour heroes. Get your pack of Labour heroes.
Got your
Pack
head
of
up.
Labour heroes. We take Bogwell. We take Bogwell. We got Bogwell. We'll take Bogwell. Pack of Labour heroes for Bogwell. The show will start in about 4 minutes. Yeah. Hold tight.
In their own homes. Can I ask a question? Can I talk? Do I come on? I'm not sure how it
Yeah,
works.
I can hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Can
you come on. Visual, but
Can you see me as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you guys talk, you come up then, and whoever's talking comes up onto the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think for the time being, not once the show starts, I don't think. I don't know.
I can see 16 screens, 16 things.
Yeah.
If you touch the screen or click on the screen, then you've got
You
to
go on gallery view.
Yeah, that's better.
mute yourself as well.
Ah.
Which is if
You
you've
go on
got
gallery view, don't you?
Everybody can choose their own view. So if you click on speaker view or gallery view.
All right, there's gallery view.
Ah.
Oh, hello.
That's delightful. Oh, bless her.
We're of an age, aren't we? Apart from me.
Looking at most of you there, plus you should have a number underneath your photograph.
The Labour Party are doing quite nicely alone sort of thing. They're doing a comedy show, so that's keeping stand up.
Hello.
Hi.
I think I've got this right. I recognise that face. Look, how you doing, Tosh?
I'm rocking. How are you?
Yeah, it's good up here in Glasgow. It's a beautiful sunny day.
Yeah, it's sunny in Doncaster as well.
Very strange.
Not too more on it. Sunny and Doncaster.
Oh, I love
Doncaster.
It's sunny in Bristol as well.
Oh, great stuff.
Violently sunny here. You barely see a thing.
It's red hot here in work. It hasn't rained for 18 months.
Right, and no. Izzy, I've got a sound on here. Can you not? Hang on, I've got to turn the sound. Oh, I'm live. I'm just in that case, but I can't.
We can do it finally, so you can get more on, but I don't know. Just 1 minute, that's it.
Afternoon.
How you doing?
Good afternoon.
Hello, everyone. Welcome.
Here's somebody looking for the dress to appear.
Is everyone ready for the show?
I'll get you a drink in the come on, they started it. Come and watch it now.
Someone's getting a
Oh,
drink.
for God's sake.
You
weren't doing this. Maybe we should draw the...
I see. So, are you all ready for the show?
Yeah.
Yep.
So we've got people from all over the country here, and we have some people who have not been muted because there's so many of you. Although it seems that can we all say hello to people who.
Okay, we're muting.
Making noise. There's a lot of noise going on here. Right, so I'd like to introduce, to start with, in the front row we've got Mary and who's talking?
Someone's got their TV on.
Someone's got the TV on. Right, so can I introduce from Banbury, we've got Mary and Derek. Do you want to say hello, Mary? Derek?
Hi.
Hello.
Tell us, what have you been up to since the coronavirus hit?
Well, we in fact have only arrived back in the UK early yesterday morning. We were trapped in Lanzarote, would you believe? Anyway, we eventually got to the airport, and in the departures lounge, we were all rammed in as per usual, all sitting on our seats, with the tannoy telling us every 5 minutes to make sure we kept 1 meter from the next person, which was totally impossible.
1 meter from the next person?
Yeah, in an airport departure lounge.
And are you pleased to be back?
Yeah, very pleased to be back, yeah.
And how much have you been shopping yet?
We tried yesterday afternoon without much luck. Shelves, not much food, not much fresh food anyway.
I've identified who was making all the noise there, so we've got a fresh bill here. Have you got enough toilet roll?
We haven't. We've only got what we left when we left the country, so we're down to our last 3 rolls. Can you help?
Right, three rolls. Okay, look, there's Mandy McKenna from Norfolk CLP.
Hello. Hi, everyone.
How are you doing, Mandy? How many toilet rolls have you got?
I've got a few toilet rolls. I've probably got about 16 toilet rolls.
Oh, you are counting, right? And
I am.
Have you got enough? Are you isolating? Are you self-isolating?
Yeah, self-isolating due to my age. In the wilds of North Norfolk.
And is it something that's stressing you out, or you seem
Not
quite?
really.
stoic?
No, I've been planting potatoes, doing Pilates, playing some music. I'm having a lot of fun, actually. I really like this. You get up in the morning and think, what should I do today? Oh, no, I'm just, chilling, really. Having a lovely time.
Great. And okay, I'm going to move on now to Cheshire and the Rossettis. Are you there?
Lisa, it's Peter has taken fright, I think. He's run away.
Oh, so we did have a couple of Rossettis here, but we've only got one at the moment.
One Rosette.
And how have you been doing in Cheshire?
All right.
You've got loads of cheese. You must have cheese there.
We must have cheese, yeah. So in fact, we had a cheese takeaway today from our local cafe, a Shutters Cafe, but she's doing takeaways and she's so great. We just don't want her to go down, and be a casualty of this. So we ordered a cheese takeaway from her today. It's really good toasties. Everything is cheese with her, everything. So great.
Nice.
Meltdown.
And how are you on the loo roll?
Six roll. Yeah.
So you're ahead of Derek and Mary, but behind Mandy at the moment.
Graph somewhere.
Sorry?
There should be a graph somewhere showing the loo rolls going up and down. The amount.
Well, you're the average at the moment because 3 is below you and Randy's 16. You're about average, so don't beat yourself up about it. Don't worry too much about it. You're doing fine. How about Cumbria? How is Mark there?
Cumbria. How are you doing?
Yeah, good. What's your situation up there? Is it you're quite isolated? Does that mean it's a bit easier to get around there, or?
I've got to pay the boys next Friday. We've got that, but it's the next few weeks that I'm absolutely frightened to death about. You know, a social enterprise, fighting our corner, recycling, doing our bit, and it's frightening. People are panic buying. I've just been down the town now. It's almost laughable. It's laughable. But we're not getting any leadership, are we? We're about 6 or 8 weeks behind, so our people themselves are starting to mobilise. But ask me about the loo roll situation.
So how are you doing? Sorry, how are you doing with the loo roll?
Well, I've got one of them, but I've got 2 boys. They're 15 and 13, and apart from thinking about putting them up a few chimneys, going back to Victorian times.
No, I don't think they can see me.
Which goes down pretty well in Liverpool, and if you cut it properly, probably get his face on, and if you cut it into squares,
That's in CMA.
that's the national papers. And if you're really vindictive, you could pick yourself a local
Wow.
paper.
There's 131 participants.
The Tory MP's wife. So we could even, if we cut it into a proper square, and we use our string, them 2 boys of mine are never going to run out of this, albeit a much older version, and we're going to go back to the future.
So you're going to make a political loo roll that will educate children about. What's that? God, that's a really funny noise. So right. So what do you think? Mark's got a great. I don't particularly want to buy the Sun in order to be able to use it as loo roll.
That's the only negative.
Lying around somewhere.
That's the only negative part. It was £5. And the local rag, which I genuinely haven't read for about 12 years, was £1.40.
Wow. Well, so what else we got? Have we got anyone from Southampton? Like, is Ethan there?
Yeah, well, it's been quite entertaining down here because about this time now I should have been doing my final revision for GCSEs. So all that's gone out the window now. So me and my age group are kind of sat around at the moment with sort of thinking, what do we do with ourselves? So it's a great time to get us out on the streets and try and volunteer when all this is blown over.
And are you what you so you've just done your GCSEs?
Well, I
You're
should
gonna
have been
do them?
doing them, but now they've all been cancelled. So basically, all our exams are going to be done on our predicted grades, which is quite funny because we made a joke in our mocks because we were quite lucky to get good grades. Like, it's a shame we can't just have these ones. And now, by the looks of it, these will be the ones we get.
So are you going to be? Do you think you're going to do well? Are you? Did you do well in your predicted?
Well, hopefully, because I've got very high predicted grades, so I'm quite lucky with that. So as long as everything goes to plan, then fingers crossed it shouldn't affect me too badly. But I dread to think what the others are like, or the elderly and the vulnerable who, although they don't have grades to worry about, they've got their health and well-being to worry about. So it's just kind of trying to pull together at this time for those who have and those who haven't.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'm pleased to hear that you've done well, and it's also good that you're thinking about others at the same time. But very Labour Party esque.
And the good thing is, if anyone in Southampton wants loo roll, we do our shopping about once a month, and we buy from Costco. So I think I've got the record for loo roll. So we've got 40 rolls here. So if anyone needs any, we're more than happy to share it out. Socialism in action.
Okay, all right. We'll find out if anyone's looking for loo roll. So I'm also thinking, have we got have we got here? Wendy Patterson from near Newark.
Hi.
And what's it like in Newark, in the East Midlands, isn't it? In the East Midlands.
Yeah, it's yes, I'm up here in the Midlands. I'm near Newark. I'm just on the border between Lincolnshire and Nottinghamshire. I'm here in my caravan, which is on a small site, and there's about 30 caravans, and it's I like sort of to think of it as it's the working classes holiday cottages, and most of the people here are retired. I'm one of the younger ones. I'm not in a vulnerable group, so everyone on here has got my number, and if they need any shopping or any loo rolls or any other help, they know they can call me.
That's really good. And so how long do you think you're going to be in the caravan? How long do you think it's going to last, this corona?
Okay, well, I'm not in the caravan because of the coronavirus. I'm here a lot of the time anyway. But yeah, so I'm not hiding here. You're
not hiding here. I thought you were hiding there. Right, I get it.
No,
right.
I'm not hiding here. I'm often here a lot of the time when
so
I'm
you're
not
quite familiar with the isolating kind of idea.
Yes, I'm kind of the ideal. If I was in a vulnerable group, or if I get ill, it won't be hugely different, if you like.
Right.
At the moment, though, I am going out and helping in the local groups as well. We've got a mutual aid group in the village with 300 volunteers, and we've also got one in Newark. So I'm linked up with all those in order to help those who need it.
Right. And is Jane? Are you in Bristol? How are you doing?
We're doing quite well. We got isolated for 12 weeks, but we've got a lot of support from the Labour Party. We've had breakfast cereal and milk bought, toilet rolls, lucky enough, and lots of things dropped off, medicine. So we're all right at the moment.
Unmuting one person at a time, is that right?
Possibly.
What's going on? Why is Ian Savile in the picture here? What's he doing?
I don't know.
Hello, Ian. You all right?
Hello.
Who's that you got in the middle there, Ian?
This is Bertolt Brecht. Yeah.
Is it?
I'm just.
What's he got to say about it all?
Yeah, well, we had all sorts of. Listen, put the mask on. Don't you realise? Oh yeah, sorry. The mask for ventriloquists. Wearing the mask is a real boon, I must say, isn't it? Yeah, that's right. Oh look, it's much better. I'm speaking much more clearly now. You know, it's all very good. Yeah. No, I'm a bit worried that Ian Savile isn't practicing social distancing, only socialist distancing. We've got Pam Lawrence here as well. She's
hello, Pam.
She lives here. Yeah, she lives here as well. I'm mostly in the cupboard, but today he's let me out. Look at that.
You don't. I can't see your lips moving at all.
You can't see his lips moving. That's only because he was wearing a mask.
We've got Tosh McDonald. Tosh is here. Tosh, can you hear us? How are you doing in Doncaster? Yeah,
I'm doing all right in Doncaster. I'm social distancing at the minute, but doing well.
And how's your loo roll situation there?
Well, I've just changed one. I know there's at least 2 left, but I didn't delve any further than that.
Oh, I see. One roll at a time, is it?
Yeah.
So what's your take on what's going on? Because you've actually been invited to this stand up for Labour as a guest speaker. So I'm sorry we haven't got a microphone.
Yeah, go on, that's all right. I can usually be heard without a microphone anyway.
We can hear you.
So what's your take on what's happening?
But the biggest thing that hits me about what's happening is how bored Boris Johnson seems to be with it. I think it's his privileged upbringing he's had. He expects people to sort things for him. And he makes a statement and that's it. He thinks it should just go away. He's really bored with it.
Yeah. And do you think, what about the government's plan to pay people 80% of their...
Well, you know, I think a positive we can take on this is just how well the Labour movement's done by being united at this time. The trade unions, the Labour Party politicians, all been pushing. You know, the government straight away came out about how they had to defend businesses. Our businesses had to be bailed out. You know, loans provided for them that would get there quick. There was no mention about the workers. There was no mention about the vulnerable people. And it's the trade union movement, which you have to take your hat off to it, and the Labour movement, Labour Party and trade union movement, that's worked together. And who'd have thought with a Tory majority, with a leader like Boris Johnson, majority of 80, I think it is a working majority, and we've been able to push them into delivering some socialism. We've been able to push them into looking after workers, low-paid workers, making sure that everybody gets some kind of safety net, which is what we've been talking about as socialists forever. And it's odd that a crisis has brought that about. And, you know, I can't help thinking, why did it need a crisis for us to be so united?
Yeah.
Is it gone?
No, you're there. Keep going.
All right. You know, it's imagine if we'd had all the parliamentary party and all the other members of the Labour Party all united throughout. I think we'd have had a Corbyn government in 2017.
Yes.
And these things that we're doing in crisis now would have happened anyway. We'd have put these protections in for people. And we wouldn't have to worry about so many businesses if the utilities and things have been taken back into public ownership like we wanted it to happen. You know, it's what this shows is capitalism's maybe all right when things are going well, but when it hits the fan, loo roll or no loo roll, that's when you have to rely on the state. The state has to be there to provide these safety nets for people. You know, I think I go right back to Margaret Thatcher when she said there was no such thing as society. Well, what we're seeing now, I think, is society working, society coming together, looking after people, despite 40 years of those bastards trying to dismantle it.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's a bit,
another thing that's also bothering me, that's coming out recently, certainly up in the Yorkshire area, we've seen sort of racism raising its head against the sort of East Asian people. You know, we're seeing things like that come about, and I really think that's something we have to make sure we stand up against.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there are positives, and there has been some positive things, seeing people getting together and helping out, as we've heard on here. So
yeah, I think also one thing that's happened that we can take a positive from, we've made people realise who the key workers really are, who is important. I don't see anybody running around to rescue lawyers and bankers, but yet transport workers, delivery drivers, NHS key workers, they are what makes this nation, makes this society. It can't happen without them.
Yeah. Round of applause for Tosh.
Hey! That's Tosh.
And coming into the room now, we've got Patrick Monaghan. Is Patrick there?
Hello, Crispin. Can you see me?
Yeah. Do you want to turn your
hello,
phone round?
everyone.
Do you want to turn your phone round?
Turn it round. Sorry, there you go. Is that better?
Yeah, that's better. So tell
hey,
us,
everyone.
So tell us, Patrick, what's going on?
Well, I tell you what, it's been really interesting. I was having a listen to everyone chatting there, and it's lovely. It feels surreal. It feels like we're in the year 2060 because I've met most of the people at the gigs and stuff. But I was just writing down a few things, and I understand we're all going through the same sort of problems. One of the interesting things I was just listening to when you were saying about the toilet roll, and what I've done is, I don't know if this is going to help people. Hopefully, it should. Go back old school. Instead of worrying about trying to buy toilet rolls in the supermarkets or whatever, do what we used to do back in the day was like, like where you get a shower hose and just wash your bum. Just get that. Just get like, you know, like what we used to do. Like I think posh people call it a B-day, but we used to do it's very Middle Eastern. We used to when we were kids. We never used to use toilet, but used to just get a shower head and get it up there. I mean, I'm sorry to be a bit crude, but I'm just trying to save people from queuing up early in the supermarket. The only problem that we have with this at the moment. The only problem we've got with this is that we've got a wet room in the house, and we haven't got we've got a built-in shower head, so it's not flexible. So I was listening to Mandy who was doing Pilates, and I think Mandy's onto something there. If you can do Pilates or yoga while you're after you've had a number 2 in the shower, it'd probably be the best way to do it. I think that's the other thing. The other thing was quite interesting. I know some of you have been finding this problem with. So yeah, go on. I thought someone was
who's asking what? Who wants to ask?
Yeah. I've got a BJ, which I don't know how to use it. So can I ask for advice?
Yeah. Okay. So with your BJ, is it the one where it's got like a detachable handle on the side where you just pick it up? You can just sit on it. Have you tried that?
Hold on.
Have you got?
Let me.
Is it a proper BJ? Or if you don't want to use your BJ, just fill the bath up and just sit in the bath. Just lower yourself slowly in the bath. But it is ridiculous. The other thing I'll tell you this as well about because I've been seeing all this when we were away and we just got back to London, similar to some of the guys who'd just flown back in. And I couldn't believe it. When we went to the supermarket, everything had gone. They'd taken all the toilet rolls, they bought all the pasta, the rice. I don't know if everyone's had the same thing. All the tins, beans, and all this sort of thing, hand sanitizer, whatever. Everything's gone. The only things that were left was ice cream and crisps. And to be honest, I was quite happy. I thought that's a result because that's all I. But you know what? If we need an excuse, and I think we should all do that. We should all just eat ice cream for the next 2 weeks. It's not about calorie counting, just about enjoying your time. And Wendy, and big shout out to Wendy in the caravan. Can I just say, Wendy, I know that you're only visiting every now and again in the caravan, but I think that's the best. That's one of the old school ways of isolation. When we were kids, I don't know if I'd mentioned this before to anyone when I was chatting to you guys. I think maybe to Tosh in Brighton, but we lived in a caravan when we were growing up as kids for about 6.5 years. We lived in the caravan, and it was probably one of the easiest ways of isolation. Really, it's quite easy. You really get to know each other. Now that you're in a house, and most people now live in a house or a flat, I think it's like people don't realise that now it's like suddenly moving from a landline to an iPhone 27 because the upgrade is amazing. When people say to you, I hear people, you see it on social media, everyone's been complaining about, we're isolating at home. And I'm thinking, we've got a house, you can walk around, you've got your front room, the kitchen, you've got TV, you've got all this catch up. I have been watching so many TV shows that I've never watched before, and I've watched them all, and I've realised why I never watched them in the first place because some of them are terrible. But you've still got to do it because it's quite nice. Because now it makes sense when you're out and about and you're chatting to people, and it makes sense when people go, "Oh, did you hear what happened to Betty in EastEnders episode, whatever it was?" 20. And I go, "All right, okay, that makes sense now." So it's quite a nice self-reflection. I think one of the other things as well, I was noticing when you were saying about when you'd come back at the airport and you had to do the social distancing or and I think you found that quite hard, didn't you, about where you have to keep a meter apart. And I found that when we came back, particularly in London, and there were, you can't use the tube or the bus like last week, not so much now, but they were saying you've got to keep a meter and a half. And I don't know if you've ever been on the tube or whatever. I had to be the tube driver. That was the only way I had to drive the thing to get any sort of distance with people. And I think it just doesn't make sense. I mean, and I think a few people here have mentioned it already today, but I think what Boris and all them should have done is just start testing people, find out who's actually got the virus and who hasn't got the virus. Yeah. Exactly. And then let everyone just get back onto it. And then people who need to work, let them work. And people who don't want to work, I love working, but if it's a case of like, you know, being stuck on a cruise ship. If I'd realised, you know, I could have got 2 weeks extra on that Diamond Princess, I would have booked myself in. But it's one of them things where let people, you know, find out who can work, and let us work. That's the whole thing. And I do honestly, I know you were talking about the toilet roll.
Yeah, hold on, Patrick. I'm just a bit aware that there are other people in the room.
Sorry, go on. Carry on.
I'm not trying to get in the way, but what I'm just wondering is, tell
no.
us, how is it being unable to do gigs now? Do you have like this energy as a comedian that you can't expel, you know, can't get out of you? You know, you want to tell jokes, but there's no one out there to joke to. Is this like a lifeline to you? What I'm asking you to say is, yes, this is a lifeline to me.
Yes, it is. Honestly, this is. Honestly, you don't have to prompt me to say this. I have literally been when we chatted the other day, a couple of days ago, I've been gasping to speak to someone because at the moment I'm just here with my partner, my missus, and our little dog, and she's sick of hearing me talk. You know, she's sick of hearing, and I didn't know. I'll be honest with you, I didn't know how this was going to work. When you were saying about we'll get everyone up and you can actually chat, it's so interesting.
I know she
feels. Well, that's enough now.
Yeah,
that's enough now.
Thank you. Also,
it's nearly 25 past because we've got Steve Gribbin here.
Sorry. Hey, Steve.
Steve's here, and he's got his guitar.
Yeah.
What are you up to, Steve?
I'm going crazy, man. I'm going crazy, but I'm mainly you know, hunkering down and thinking about whether or not they're going to finish the Premier League or not. Because as we all know, we were within 2 matches of winning the Premiership, but I don't know. Can I sing a song now?
No. Wait a bit, Steve. No. Just wait, Steve. There's other people here before you start taking over. We've already had Patrick doing it. So what about?
Sorry.
Susie there. Isn't there Susie?
Hey.
Yeah, he's been.
Can you hear me?
Hey,
can you hear me?
Yeah.
I'm
So
in Devon.
Susie, you're down in Devon. What's it like down there?
I went for a walk on the Hogue today, and it was very windy, so no virus had any chance against that wind. Oh, something's happening to my screen. Do you know this is very new to me.
We're back again.
Here I'm back again. Hey, so I've been swiping left and right to see if there's anyone I fancy. How do I pick? Oh, I like the Lance t-shirt. You're gonna need a bigger boat, mate. So this is here I am live from my bed. This is where the action happens, and by the action I mean me watching Columbo constantly. But I've got I'm keeping myself busy. I've got my I Heart Columbo pants. I've not got the opportunity to show them off at the moment, so I've been using them as a mask. As a nothing's going to get through that, and I've just basically been comfort eating, which is upsetting. But luckily, Slimming World's not open, so I can do it all online and lie about my weigh-in. So I'm just going to pretend I've lost weight every week, and then I think I've got a few months to catch up, haven't I? So I can turn it around. And luckily, nobody's panic buying Muller lights, so yay! There's loads of Muller lights out there, guys, so you can stock up on the Muller lights, just down them in one. And I'm going to take the opportunity to use this. This was given to me as a Valentine present, so I think I've got a bit of time for that. Apparently you have to put it in a bowl of water and it grows, but I like large men, so
that's what she said.
I'll throw it in the sea because I like them nice and big, so I need a bigger body of water. But I am a bit terrified that I'm just gonna get so fat, so I'm gonna start doing aqua aerobics in the garden, and maybe the neighbours will get involved. But yeah, I'm a bit worried about that. But hopefully in a few months I'll be just down to plain noodles and I can get it back. I was thinking of trying the 5.2 diet. Do you know about that one?
Yeah.
No, what's that?
It's the one where you've got to eat normally for 5 days, and then you've only got 2 days that you fast, so it's 500 calories. And when I'm really hungry, I'm not very good to be around, so this is the perfect time, so I can self-isolate. And on my fasting days, I'm just going to stay in bed and sleep it out, get up, have a Twix, and then go straight back to bed again. I can be around people. Got any other Columbo fans out there? Because there's plenty of Colombo. Oh, Claire Colley. Hello, my love. Oh, bless Claire Colley. You should look up Claire Colley on Amazon. She's got some books out. You should plug your books because she's a brilliant writer. Claire Norton is her writing name, C.L. Norton. But yeah, I'm going to sit and drink and eat and watch Colombo. So it's just like any other time, really.
But you're not doing gigs as well, are you? So you're
No.
not getting...
No gigs. I'm staying at my mum's, so unfortunately I'm having to use up my comedy muscle on her. But luckily she comes out with some corkers, so we're all right.
Okay, well, look, thanks, Susie. We're going to go to Liverpool because we haven't been to Liverpool yet. We've got Joe Bird. Joe, are you there?
Hi, everyone.
Hey. How's it going in Liverpool? I mean, Steve's from Liverpool, but he's not there at the moment. He's in exile in South London. But what's it like in Liverpool? Is there a lot of solidarity? People looking after each other?
The situation's brought out the best in people. There's all kinds of WhatsApp groups and other connections springing up. People offering to help. People asking for help. It's a tough situation where lots of people worried about their loved ones. We're going to pull through this together.
Oh, fantastic. And are you, what's it like? Because you're a councillor as well, aren't you? So do you get lots of...
I'm the secretary of the Labour group, and we're aiming to have our first online remotely held Labour group meeting with observers and everything. The council is making a good lead. We've issued a helpline for people to ring if they need anything, that kind of thing. Yeah. Can I update you on the National Executive Committee campaign? As you know,
yeah, please do.
Suspended briefly and then reinstated, and thank you to everybody who stood up and said, this is ridiculous to suspend during an election campaign. We're standing up for fairness and democracy within the Labour Party and outside the Labour Party. We want to see more natural justice in our systems. And all kinds of people stood up. It made me so proud. There was groups passed motions, letters, signed petitions. There was even people that said, I'm Spartacus.
You also got kicked off, suspended.
Hold on, mate. Everyone.
It showed what a fabulous family the Labour Party can be. I do urge everyone to stay in Labour if you can. Like, if it's good for your health, mental health, then do stay in Labour. There's still everything to play for.
Oh, thank you, Joe. And we've also got Mick Shaw from Lee, because I just saw you, Mick. Are you there?
Oh, Chris, how are you?
I've heard you've been. How long have you been self-isolating again?
3 weeks.
3 weeks. And what's the tip? What's your main tip? You had a tip about how you get through it. That we spoke to.
Yeah, pissed. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. We live in a very small one-bedroom bungalow. A guy was just talking about living in a caravan. It's very similar, and you can go stir crazy. We've had loads of help from comrades, shopping. Highlighted today, comrade turned up with 20 bottles of home-brewed beer. So I'm not sending anybody to the supermarket to fight for beer.
Toilet roll after that.
So that's great. The comradeship that's coming out of this is absolutely fantastic, Chris. And going back to what Tosh said about the PLP, when we could have had a Labour government in 2017.
Absolutely.
And you know what? I'm going to say it, Chris, because I hope them bastards did what they did and looking at us now and what we're doing and what our comrades are doing and saying this is socialism. This is cooperation between comrades, and this is all we ever wanted. We didn't want to do anybody any damage. We didn't want to hurt anybody. We wanted to help people. We wanted to create a fair and equal society. And if anybody finds anything wrong with that, then there's something wrong with them, mate.
Right.
Because the help we've had been absolutely phenomenal.
Well said.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, I'm not against the serious physical stuff being been brought into this, but it's good to hear. It's good to hear that there is what Jeremy Corbyn was doing had a point to it, and that this is the point of it, really, isn't it? I mean, what Jeremy Corbyn was trying to change was making a society where we'd be able to cope with something like this.
Absolutely.
And people like Boris Johnson was just saying, "Oh no, don't worry about that. Let's do something else." So, you know, but we've got to get on with this, and it's good if we all together and keeping together, then we'll get through it. Because morally, my morale's quite high just through seeing everyone there, my morale is especially high because Don Biswas has entered.
Hey.
Hey. Are you there, Don?
Yes, I'm here. Can you see me, hear me?
I can see you now. Yeah. So Don, there's a joke that you used to tell at gigs, but you're worried about telling. Would you be willing to tell that joke here on live transmission?
Certainly. The joke is, by the way, it's on my Stand Up for Labour set, which you can watch on YouTube. The joke is, I am a political activist, which I really am. For example, one reason I stopped using Google is because they don't fully pay their taxes. Another reason why I stopped using Google is because it's come to their... I'll say it again. Another reason why I stopped using Google is my next door neighbour has changed their Wi-Fi password. We got there eventually.
It's good. I can see your face down to your just to your nose. That's it. Yeah. You're a Liverpool fan, aren't you, Don?
What's that?
You're a Liverpool supporter, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Liverpool not winning the league this year?
Well, I'm not sure if we're going to win it anyway, because I've got leaflets through the door telling me that the Liberal Democrats are going to win it. Telling me leaflets and they're going to win the election. So the result was 3 months ago. So I think the Liberal Democrats are going to win it.
What's the joke about the guy who goes in the bar? Do you remember that joke? That went down really well.
A Labour supporter, a Liberal Democrat and Conservative walks into a bar, to which the barman says, "What can I get you, Chukwuemeka?"
You should have been self-isolating.
I should say that joke is because they're the only pubs open now, apparently. So
nobody's heard about him, Tosh.
Yeah,
nobody's heard about him. Omana. I think he is.
Sorry, I'm not picking that up.
I think he is in isolation.
Yeah. There's a few of them should have been in social isolation. Joan Ryan, Anne Coffey, Angela Smith, lots of them. They should have all been in social isolation for 6 years.
Tosser from Barra.
Well, if they're in social isolation, they could call themselves an independent group again, can't they? So
that is social isolation.
Yeah, literally.
Have you been doing any work, Don? You can't do any gigs, so...
Well, I've been down to the supermarket telling people to stop buying the Sun and the Daily Mail. It's panic lying.
Panic lying.
And you're doing okay.
Also, I've just got other stuff to deal with because one of the first cases in Britain was at Wimbledon Arts School near where I live, and I was worried that I was going to get tested, and then finally my proud, traditional, neurotic, middle-class Indian mother would have found out. I went to but yeah, I am writing more material as a comedian, not gigging. The only problem for me is I've run out of hand sanitizer jokes, but other than that, all cool.
And Steve, are you still there, or have you given up?
Who? Me?
Yeah,
I'm still here. Of course I am.
What do you think? What are you? So, Steve, tell us about what you want to do, because I think we're going to wrap up the show in a bit.
Okay.
what was it you were desperate? You told me, can I get involved in this show? Because there's a song I really want to.
You asked me, you son. Stop it.
What is it?
Look, I'm going to get Jurgen Klopp on you.
That you want to sing, Steve, and you said, what did you say it was?
Say that again.
What's the song that you said you really wanted to sing? Because
I'm going to sing it. I want to dedicate this one to Jurgen Klopp, who I think has spoken a lot of sense about the coronavirus. I also want to dedicate this one to the workers sacked by Britannia Hotels in a heartless manner in Scotland yesterday. This is for everybody. When you walk through a storm with your head up high, and don't be afraid of at the end of the storm, there's a goal.
we can all sing along with this if you want.
And sweet silver song.
Oh, the Lord. Walk on
through your dreams and
walk on, with hope in your heart, and you'll never and you'll
Can you hear us? All going off now.
Well, the police have come.
Found you, Crispin.
I know, yeah. They've come for the jacket, Crispin.
Ready for next week of Thank you to everyone who's donated to the
Not many of us left anymore.
everyone that's coming along, and also, can I just say that it wouldn't have happened without donated to the crowdfunder. So if you're another one, I'll be putting one on in the next week. So, thank you, everyone.
Okay, guys, thanks. See ya.
Yes.
See y'all.
The rain.